In addition to picking up relics, Knack can make his body out of other materials that he finds in the levels. And in some cases, you'll find ice shards, and you can make yourself an ice Knack, or you can find mirror shards and make a mirror Knack. And it opens up new gameplay possibilities, but again, the problem here is it's very restrictive and very much based on what the designer wants. So you only get the mirrors when the designer puts a challenge in front of you that you need the mirrors to get past.
Right.
And you only need the mirrors to get past it. So it's very much like an A is A kind of proposition for the player, and you don't have a lot of freedom to explore the game and try new things.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing because they didn't make it seem like that at first anyway.
They didn't, and there are, to be fair, at the end of the game, you can play through as alternate versions of Knack. If you collect certain gems, you can unlock, say, a vampire Knack. And for vampire Knack, he's constantly losing relics, and he gains them by beating up enemies. So it adds this like ticking clock element.
Cool.
Okay, so here we are in kind of an ice cavern, and Knack has got ice crystals around him. They don't really do much in the way of powers, but it is a nice sort of visual change to the character that you've been playing with. You get a lot of this stuff, too, where Knack throws a cutscene at you for no real reason at all. You're jumping off a ledge or you're climbing over a fence, and it's all stuff that you've been doing in the level anyway, so why are we being interrupted to watch Knack do something that you'd much rather play?
Right.
So here's some of these ice crystals, and you can see...
Yeah, that effect is cool.
He gets quite bigger, right? And the ice crystals will degrade if you're near a heat source, which is kind of neat, so it adds a little bit of a tactical element. You've got this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles jump kick move, this sort of unbeatable... attack, which is a little cheap. Here is one actual platforming element. This ice bridge is a little bit slippery, so you have to be careful negotiating it. And sometimes you'll be on those surfaces while enemies are attacking, which can add a little bit of interest to the fights. But as Knack gets bigger, he gets a stronger reach, and he's a little bit faster and a little stronger. So it does have this nice progression where you start off as this little bitty guy who's really in danger everywhere he turns, and then eventually you get to be a bigger Knack who takes on tougher challenges. Adding more here and slide down this thing.
Why do you think they went with the fixed camera?
I think because they want this game to be as accessible to as many people as possible.
Younger gamers?
Yeah.
Who maybe don't have as much experience?
Yeah, and I think that accounts for some of the lack of choice in the game as well. And honestly, the cutscenes. Let's just make it as easy as possible for people to understand what this game is about. And I will say, my 8-year-old son, he actually enjoyed the game more than I did. But even he felt a little restricted by some of just the lack of choice that you have in it. It's very binary. And we had just come off of playing games like Skylanders and Lego Marvel that just offer the player more options. There are more ways to kind of customize the experience of the game based on what you find exciting. And in Knack, that's just not the case. You'll notice here there's a little, let me see if I can trigger it again, there's a little dodge mechanic that can be sometimes nice. This guy will shoot at me. Yeah, so you have a few mobility options here, but it's basically just one attack button, and that's all you get. Let's go to another level here and see the biggest Knack that I'm comfortable showing. There are bigger ones later in the game, but I want to make sure that we save some surprises for people who do want to enjoy the game without any spoilers.